And we welcome you back to the West Virginia Regional here at the Charleston Coliseum, Charleston, West Virginia, for game number 2 of what is a triple header. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough, and what is the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. Heard that against the Sikh Warriors. Heard that at TBT Staple, Marshall Alumni. So close a couple of years ago, got all the way to the TBT semifinals against what we would call an underdog story in the Sikh Warriors, representing those of the Sikh faith and the Punjabi region, the area of South Asia between northwestern India and eastern Pakistan that makes up their faith. Only 2% of the folks in South Asia are part of the Sikh community. So playing for a lot today, playing for not only their parents but their ancestors, and looking to come home with their first TBT win. And what a potential upset it would be, Tim Scarborough.
Oh, it would be. And I tell you what, I had to give JP Tokoto a pound because that's good luck. I did that before every game they won in the tournament 2 years ago. So he said before the game, I got to make sure I give you a pound so we can play well.
JP Tokoto, Stevie Browning, Xavier Munford, Derek Cook Jr., Ja'Cory Williams. For Heard That, Jaskern Singh Bajwa, Vic Singh Tor, Jordan Singh Sakon, and then AJ Singh and Ajay Paul Singh.
And watch out for Mankaran Tor, Victor, right on cue, buckets. Victor getting to the bucket. He's 6'1", played at University of Fraser Valley.
Up in Canada.
A lot of these guys have played in Canada. But to underscore what you were talking about at the top there, Matt, they're not just playing for themselves. They're playing for their country, for their religion. A lot of pressure in that sense. But also, it's got to feel good to have that many people, because we're talking about millions of people that are behind you. And when you think of Sikhs, you don't think of basketball, right? When you think of India, you don't think of basketball. You think of soccer, maybe cricket. But a lot of guys play basketball, and these guys are here to show the world, really, that there are some good Sikh basketball players. And there's one of them right there with the basketball, Vic Tor.
Yeah, the Punjabi Sikh community hosting community basketball tournaments about 30 years, the last 30 years across North America, California and British Columbia as well. Mm-hmm. As AJ Bassi, long on that three-pointer, Stevie Browning at the other end with an answer for Heard That, and the Marshall alumni have the lead.
Stevie Buckets. I've known that kid a long time. I asked him, I was like, how old are you, Stevie? He said, I'm 31. I was like, you're not 19 anymore? I think that's how old he was when I first met him many years ago, but time really flies. But he can still go get buckets. Big-time shot there to get things started.
Yeah, his specialty in college, knocking down the triple for the pride of Logan, West Virginia. Jaskern Bajwa missed that and got his own rebound, knocked it out of bounds. Last touch, they'll say, by Heard That.
And Ajapal Kalan, number 24, 7-footer. You don't see a lot of 7-foot guys from India, but there he is, 27 years old. And they'll throw it in there to him, but he's setting screens, and they want him to rebound as well. Cash.
On the kick out, Bassi cans the three.
AJ Bassi, he's a pro shooter, as you can see. The thing I like about this Sikh team is that they communicate on defense right there. A great cut and a special delivery. Cook Jr. with the bucket. Ja'Cory Williams with the assist.
Knotted up at 5 here early on. Folks in the Heard That Marshall alumni camp probably wondering why no John Elmore, as the Sikh Warriors get a bucket. AJ Paul Singh to make this a 2-point lead, but John Elmore and Tavion Kinsey both participating in the NBA Summer League. If their team loses, they'll be on a red eye tomorrow night, the Sacramento Kings Summer League team, and would play Sunday if they win today, as Williams drops this over the top.
Yeah,
tied at 7.
Timeout early, 30 seconds. But Ja'Cory Williams made a killing in Conference USA his final season as a player for Middle Tennessee. Played his way to a Player of the Year honor and actually won a game in the NCAA tournament with that group. Special group, but man, that floater 5 to 10 feet around the bucket, that's just automatic for him.
Yeah, Lord knows we've seen it a bunch over the years.
We sure have. And he fits right in with this that crowd. And you wonder what Coach Dan D'Antoni would have done if he had a guy like him in that group. But we kind of see it, right? Because he plays with that every year the last few seasons. And he's done a tremendous job, former Arkansas player as well.
I asked him, what do you think of your chances this year? He said, well, if we win, people will say, well, they were close a couple of years ago. It's about time.
Mm-hmm. That's why you got to take the Jalen Hurts approach. It doesn't matter what other people think.
Right. Bassi with another triple.
A.J. Bassi, 5'11". But, man, he's a big player on the court at times.
Second 3 for the former University of Manitoba Bison's guard, who played his college ball up in Canada.
Nice poke away there.
And gets a hand in. And we'll stay down at this end. But love Bassi's hustle. And
yeah,
you'll notice, by the way, Tim Scarborough, on every one of these jerseys that you see the last name Singh. And that has to do with Sikh lineage.
Right.
The idea of equality. So all the males have the last name Singh, basically to make people realize that nobody's lineage is greater or better than the others.
Equality.
Everybody is on an equal playing field.
Yep.
Three-pointer goes long for A.J. Paul Singh. So that's why you'll hear when we say Vic Singh Tor.
Yep.
Everybody has that last name.
Oh, nearly a steal.
Williams able to gather it. Rondale Watson, another former University of Marshall Thundering Herd. Or Marshall University Thundering Herd, I should say. Off the bench, wearing number 23. Early three-point lead for the Sikh Warriors. Bassi feeling it.
You better get a hand up if you're in a green shirt and number 4 is beyond that arc. Another splash down from downtown.
Williams penetrating kick. Ryan Taylor. Bassi with the rebound and got bodied.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to say. They're going to call it a turnover. Wow, Matt. I mean, Bassi is going to throw a touchdown pass because he's got a guy wide open at the other end.
And got hip checked out of bounds.
Hip checked out of bounds like a hockey player.
Munford, they make it really difficult on him from the corner. Missed the 3. Whistle at this end.
And Victor has a knack for understanding how to get fouled. And that you saw that on display right there. Really kind of forces the officials to call something because of the way he makes it look.
He'll be the inbounder here.
Really skilled veteran player. We had Harry and some of the other GMs showing us sizzle reels of Victor and others. And, man, I was highly impressed.
Well, so far, that impression in terms of what you thought earlier today has carried over into what we're seeing.
Yeah, you know, offline, I was saying, and I said it on the air too in the first game, this Sikh Warriors team is good enough to get out of this region. They have a lot of cohesiveness. You got size, athleticism, and a desire to play together.
Ryan Taylor, all kinds of out of control
Wow.
after Sikh Warriors threw it away. Bassi running the break, was sniping a potential 4th-3.
Surprised they let him get that shot.
Tokoto, who played in Israel again this year, got that ball blocked. But foul on the Sikh Warriors.
And JP Tokoto has played with this team. Of course, he played his ball in college at UNC, but he has been very comfortable in the Kelly Green the last few years here in TBT. Helped them get all the way to Philadelphia in the semifinals 2 years ago.
First one for Tokoto, who becomes the 4th Heard That member to score. Tor sits down, as does Jaden Narval for the Sikh Warriors. Already more than half of this first quarter eclipsed. It's been a nice paced basketball game here, highlighted by A.J. Bassi and his 3 3-pointers. Catch and shoot for Bajwa, back it up like it was going down. Munford, who can let it fly. Feeds Taylor, who's on the Marshall staff as their director of player development. And posted up, got the foul call.
And the bench for the Sikh Warriors did not like that call. Not a lot of contact, but nonetheless, Taylor's going to go to the free throw line after we come back from this break.
And that last foul on Jordan Singh Sekon. 5-point lead, though. Maybe a potential surprise brewing in Charleston, West Virginia. The Sikh Warriors up 13-8. You're watching the 2025 basketball tournament. More than halfway gone here in the first quarter. And what's game number 2 of a tripleheader here at the West Virginia Regional. Sikh Warriors, the 7th seed, up 13-8 on the 2 Heard That. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough. Did want to point out, in addition to no John Elmore and Tavion Kinsey, DeAndre Kane, who's won obviously multiple times with Overseas Elite, was a champion with Boeheim's Army in this thing. And played college ball at both Marshall and Iowa State. Supposed to be on this Heard That roster, not here.
My sources tell me he's on his way. But they didn't want to hold the game up for him. So they had to play it. But if they win, and that is a big if, then Sunday could be interesting with him being added to this lineup, Heard That lineup, as well as John Elmore and Tavion Kinsey, 2 of the greatest scorers of all time in Marshall uniforms. And again, those guys are big ifs too, because the Sacramento team that they're playing for out in Vegas, if they win Saturday, they have a game on Sunday.
Good looking stroke for Bajwa from the elbow to put Sikh Warriors back up 2 possessions.
They do a great job of communicating on defense, helping each other, and then offensively they go out and get good shots. That's why I like this Sikh Warriors team.
Munford, nice find. Tokoto drops it in with the left.
Who says Mumford shoots the ball every time he touches it? He's a great passer as well, but boy was he a terrific scorer at UMass, or Rhode Island, I should say, in the Atlantic 10.
Lost out of bounds, Bussy. And Nick McGlynn off the bench to help force a turnover for Heard That. McGlynn, Derek Cook Jr., Stevie Browning, Ja'Cory Williams, and J.P. Tokoto, the 5.
Cook Jr., number 11, Wyoming standout.
Jaskern Singh Bajwa, Jordan Singh Sekon, along with Gershon Singh Saran. A.J. Singh also out there, as Williams missed that.
Good resistance at the rim, though.
And quick trigger for Singh Bajwa. McGlynn down with the rebound.
And, you know, Coach Dan D'Antoni and his brother Mike D'Antoni, of course, kind of invented the way the game is played today in terms of the spread offense, running to the corners, ball screens, lob. As Stevie Browning splashes another one from downtown, 2 for 2 for the young fella.
And we're tied up. Timeout for the Sikh Warriors.
We're gonna see some three-point shots attempted in this one. You got Marshall, who takes more threes and makes more threes than most teams, most seasons, at least under Dan D'Antoni. And of course, this Sikh Warriors team will let it fly as well.
By the way, looking over to their huddle, and we see the first Indian basketball player ever to be drafted in the NBA. We got to meet him yesterday.
That's right.
Satnam Singh Bamara, who was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks a few years back and is now a professional wrestler in AEW.
That's right. 7'2".
400 pounds now.
Man, he is a big man. And we were on the plane together. And
what a nice guy, by the way.
Oh, great guy, great guy. And he's coming.
See him in the green shirt, the light green shirt. It's a little snug on that frame.
And the crazy thing is, he's over there with a whole bunch of tall people, and none of them look tall when he's standing next to them.
Yeah, we took a picture with him today, and I felt like I was in elementary school again.
Yeah, you look like 14-year-old Matt Martucci, who tends to show up surface from time to time. I have to watch you.
Now, good one brewing here at Charleston as we come out of the timeout, but yeah, really enjoyed our conversation with Satnam Singh.
Mm-hmm. Turnover there.
Yeah, they wanted A.J. Paul Singh there and out of bounds. So settling in has Heard That. Tokoto directing traffic. Now Ja'Cory Williams. Browning already with a couple of triples. Probing. Shot clock cut in half for Heard That. Browning, tough drop off. McGlynn couldn't get it, but there's Williams with the tap.
Beautiful timing on that tip in by Ja'Cory Williams. Sensational player around the bucket.
Well, Heard That now with its largest lead, which is all of a bucket. Whistle and a foul on Tokoto here.
This game, you think of three-point shooting teams as being finesse, but this game has been quite physical. And that's what you get when you're playing for $1 million and you have guys with size and speed and athleticism like both these teams do. And if the officials allow it, you're going to see a lot of pushing and physical play, which is fine by me. Oh, he traveled.
And Bussy and Williams probably having something to do with that. Up on one leg and gets the bucket.
Yeah, very true. He did get pushed. But Bussy is a really good scorer.
Game high 11. Williams a pretty good one in his own right, coming across the lane. 6 for Ja'Cory Williams. Heard That back in front.
Former Conference USA Player of the Year.
Basi, give him another one.
He pulled out the 6 shooters.
14 now for A.J. Basi.
Good help.
Williams throwing it a double. And McGlynn, too much height there for her. That. Nick McGlynn is a TBT veteran. He's played for Sideline Cancer in the past. And there's Bajwa to give the Warriors the lead to close the first period here in Charleston.
You talk about dotting the I's. Woo! Big time 3 from downtown.
Seek and you shall find it from the outside. The theme of the first period. 5 made triples for the Sikh Warriors. They'll head to the second up by a bucket. You're watching the West Virginia Regional here at TBT 2025. Well, given what we saw a couple years ago from India Rising, the team that upset the Dayton Alumni Red Scare out at the UD Arena, perhaps Tim Scarborough, we shouldn't be surprised to see this Sikh Warrior team up a bucket headed to the second period.
No, they understand how to play basketball. They play together a lot. They play in Pro-Am leagues. They run a Pro-Am league out in Seattle. So they know what's up.
Tough catch there for Ja'Cory Williams. And
Ja'Cory's lobbying for a
lobbying
shot.
for free throws. Don't think you're going to win that argument.
Wow.
They do have 2 lawyers over there on the Heard That bench, though.
It's true.
Odd Elmore and his dad, Gay Elmore, are both licensed attorneys here in the state of West Virginia.
Some of that is rubbing off on Ja'Cory Williams.
Lobbying for buckets.
Here we go.
Free throws in that case.
Oh, Derek Cook.
Yeah, Cook
Smoked
Jr.
one.
Yep. Left the bunny up on the rim. Victor back into the game. Bajwa, another good-looking 3, but that time off target. Tokoto. Size advantage. Almost got the friendly bounce and trying to track down his own rebound.
He settled, though. Had a chance to back him in and pulled up.
Basi, little 2-game, dropped it down low.
And that's what I was talking about, that spread offense that the D'Antoni brothers kind of invented, permeating basketball.
Here's Bajwa. Four-point Sikh Warrior lead. And Williams challenges, wins the battle. Will go to the free throw line. A.J. Paul Cologne, guilty of the foul. Or respectfully, we would say A.J. Paul Singh Cologne.
Mm-hmm. 7-footer, San Francisco State Kind of more of a cleanup guy around the bucket. They don't really run a lot of plays for him.
Yeah, this roster is primarily guys of Sikh descent that played ball either in British Columbia or in California.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Canada and California mostly their makeup of the roster. 1 of 2 for Williams, makes this a 3-point game. Cook Jr. jumping the passing lane and ran out of a trailer on the secondary break. Wanted Ja'Cory Williams, wasn't home.
Finally, that ball wasn't turned over until they picked it up. It was still loose. Nice split.
Tore right to the basket and almost beat Williams to the spot.
Bodies are flying right now at both ends.
Yeah, Jordan Saquon.
You know, this
got chicken winged out of bounds there.
he did with no call, no punishment.
Mm-mm. Good ball movement for Sikh Warriors on the designed inbounds. Everything but the finish on the drive for Jaden Narwhal.
Because of that contest by Ja'Cory Williams. He made him change that shot.
And Browning just dribbled himself right into a turnover.
Yeah, he dribbled into the Lions' den there. They invited him in, and then they devoured him defensively. Nowhere to go with it for Stevie Browning. He turned it over.
I joked with him. I said, when's the last time you picked up a ball? And he said, I'm still a rec league legend.
TBT is not rec league, though, I'll tell you that.
But he said, you know, still runs in all the Marshall pickup games and all that. And he's shown us early on. Game looks like it's solidly intact.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of made threes. Tokoto right to the basket. And heard that back to within 1. Thanks to the former North Carolina Tar Heel.
Nice hands by Mumford.
And stripped it away from Saquon. Bassi cooling off a little bit. But good hustle play from A.J. Paul Singh.
Short.
As Saquon way off target there, and that one got batted around the lane.
But they're getting the looks that they want, and the fair share of those shots are going to go. A block called there before the shot. Ja'Cory Williams is going to have to carry the load for this group if Heard That wants to survive this. You know, they're playing for a lot too, of course. Playing in the state of West Virginia, not far from Huntington, where many of these guys played their college careers in Greene.
And all of about 53 miles from Huntington to Charleston.
Yep, when I used to do games at Marshall, I had to fly into Charleston and drive. I didn't have to because you actually can fly into Huntington, West Virginia.
Tokoto knocks down the jumper. Which of the 2 carousels did your bag come off of?
Right.
Do you remember?
It was number 2, yes, for the record.
A.J. Singh gets the layup. We were actually impressed yesterday. They had to break out the second carousel.
They had 2 going at once,
We had never seen that before. Multiple trips to Charleston. They forgot the WD-40, the track.
It's a little squeaky, huh?
Singh at this end with Sikh Warriors up by a point. And whistle at a foul going down the other way. I'm sorry, did they call somebody on the sideline?
Oh, yeah, I think they call out of bounds.
Yeah, just out of bounds. Excuse me.
Yep.
Xavier Munford going to run point right now for Heard That. Rondell Watson back in, wearing number 23 for the Marshall Alumni. Munford, tough shot. Williams staying active, as is McGlynn cleaning it up. His second bucket off the bench.
Yeah, he's been solid for them, a real presence around that backboard.
Tor almost lost it out of bounds, was able to gather it. And Bajwa has cooled off a little bit.
Somewhat. He had the shot right before the end of the quarter.
And the Marshall contingent that's here lets him know. Seats starting to fill up here around the Charleston Coliseum.
Oh,
And Munford, tough mid-range.
I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot. The trajectory of it looked kind of odd, but Mumford is saying that he got fouled. We got a good one here.
Yes, we do. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough. 2 seed versus 7 seed. Heard that over Sikh Warriors right now by 3. In our first game, we watched the Ohio Alumni, Court Street Kings, get an Elam ender from Ben Vanderplas to move on. Picked up their first TBT win. And then still to come here as part of our triple header, West Virginia, the West Virginia Alumni will play in their 14th TBT game against Du Bois Dream.
Wow.
Who's honestly become a TBT veteran team in itself.
Still looking for their first win, but
Yeah,
they've been
it'll be their
very competitive.
sixth tournament game.
Yep. And they took that West Virginia team to the limits. They actually had the lead in the Elam ending scenario.
I remember that one. We had a lot of fun doing that
Oh,
game.
that was a great game.
That was in Wheeling, was it not?
I believe
Yes,
it was in Wheeling. Yep, in 2023. Yeah, because TBT hasn't been here in Charleston since 2022.
And a few years. We were in Pittsburgh a year ago.
Correct.
You and I.
Got to check out our beloved Phillies versus the Pirates during that week.
Some of the years blend together, Scar.
Does
it mean we're getting older? I suppose it does.
Or not as smart. One or the other. Or maybe both.
Or both. Heard that bench wanted to walk. Bassi tried to sneak that in around McGlynn.
Got numbers here because Bassi took himself out of the play.
Rondell Watson open, can't cash in. Offensive rebound for Ryan Taylor, got it stripped. Munford trying to corral it. Munford looking for his shot, a lot of one-on-one. Williams went to the floor, wanted the offensive rebound. And it came up a little lame.
Whoa, great
Bodies
hustle.
going everywhere. Ryan
Great
Taylor
hustle.
calls the timeout.
And Ryan Taylor, who's a coach at Marshall, he got the whole Marshall team to stand up on that hustle play.
Only the first round, but $1 million hustle play for Ryan Taylor.
Yeah, you know, that can pay dividends when you play that hard, but it was great for his kids that he coaches to watch him do what he preaches to them, and they all appreciated that and gave him a standing ovation.
I just zoomed in, Tim Scarborough, with my imaginary baseline camera down over there toward the current Marshall roster.
And I was telestrating in my mind.
In your mind?
Circling it, yep. In this world of AI, maybe we could reproduce that somehow, right?
It's like a program. You just take photos and say, generate an image
Piece
of
it all
this.
together, yeah. Chat GPT.
Generate an image of the current Marshall basketball team sitting on the baseline at the Charleston Coliseum.
With their coach, with their assistant coach, diving on the floor for a loose change.
Yeah, Ryan Taylor doing a good job as their director of player development for Cornelius Jackson's program.
Yeah, Cornelius Jackson
Just received an extension
got the job. Now he's got an extension.
to 2030.
Yeah, nice. And I was wondering who would succeed Dan D'Antoni, who did a really fabulous job there. Of course, he is an alum of Marshall many, many years ago. But
One of my favorites to talk to over the years in terms of college coaches.
without a doubt,
Would always give it to you straight.
I'd say he and Keith Dombrot, former Duquesne coach, who coached LeBron James in high school in Akron. Those two guys, to me, some of my favorite moments in college basketball was talking to those guys away from the court.
Yeah, Coach Dambrot happily retired now in
Yeah,
the
both those
Pittsburgh,
guys
the
now,
Pittsburgh area.
Yep.
Finished up at Duquesne, won an NCAA tournament game before he ended up hanging it up.
That's true. It's hard to do at Duquesne. Hard to do at Marshall, too, but they won an NCAA tournament game as well.
Yeah, and then it ended up the next matchup that followed was the Capital Classic NCAA tournament game. They ended up on the wrong end against West Virginia.
Yep. And they'll have a chance to repeat that matchup if both those teams can win tonight on Sunday.
Ja'Cory Williams says, I like that. 5-point lead for her at that.
Well, you have to be strong with the basketball in TBT because you get bumped, you get grabbed while you're dribbling the ball. That's hard to.
They're gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Bajwa. Shot clock down inside 10 for Sikh Warriors. Good D for her at that. Bajwa.
Great cut.
And nice flash it off the window.
And I was going to say that was the best defensive possession heard that it had all night. But at the end of it, they still gave up 2.
Gershon Singh Saran with his first 2 off the bench for Sikh Warriors. Williams going to work. That soft jump hook, left it short. Bajwa down with the rebound. Here comes Victor.
That's got to be a foul, yep. And that was a giveaway. Ja'Cory wanted to stop that break.
Ja'Cory Williams picks up his first.
Head coach Ott Elmore trying to keep fresh players on the floor.
Was in court earlier today, he told me.
Today he was?
Yeah, this morning.
Wow.
Your Honor, I would like a continuance. Why? I have a basketball game to coach.
I have a different court to attend.
Jordan Singh Sekon takes care of the layup, and we're back to a 1-point game. Love the tenacity of this Sikh Warriors team. Tokoto, nice spin, but couldn't get the fall away to go.
And whoever, Jaskaran Bajwa, 6'4" guard, number 1 in black, whoever he's guarding as we get a breakaway here, let's see if Tokoto will poster.
And
he waited for him.
And took some off it a little bit.
He did.
I feel like.
He was ready for a challenge, though. He wanted to put someone in the rim, but no one really stepped up to volunteer, so he just dropped it home.
9 now for Jean-Pierre Tokoto.
But number 1, Bajwa, who turned it over there, they're really isolating on him. Whoever he's guarding is attacking.
And I think JP Tokoto actually might have tweaked something going up.
Well, he's promising that he's got something for us maybe later in the show.
Was shaking the wrist a little bit. I don't know if he got it caught up in the rim when he went up for that two-hand dunk or what happened. McGlynn wheeling on the block and got fouled trying to grab his own offensive rebound.
Too much contact. And it's interesting how small, and small is relative because we're talking about 6'5" players, but you know, Singh, Ajapal Singh is 6'7", playing the 5 right now, number 35.
I think they gave that foul to the wrong person. They probably need to clear. I think they called that on Victor, who I don't think was anywhere near that. No, he wasn't anywhere near that play.
No, he was not.
I think that should have been on A.J. Paul Singh.
So
or one of the bigs, Gershon Saran.
I was thinking, unless Victor was underneath,
maybe
hiding behind those guys, and he
I didn't
reached
think
in.
so, though.
He did get tagged with that personal.
Oh no, they did give it to him, and I just it's the one benefit, I guess, Tim Scarborough being on YouTube. Just rewound the stream. And
there you go. You got your own replay.
Mm-hmm. See, we don't need a monitor. Yeah. 5-point heard that lead. Ja'Cory Williams bumps Tor.
2 fouls on the last game minute for Ja'Cory. Again, you get 6 fouls in TBT, and the games are shorter. So usually we have very few disqualifications
A.J. Paul Singh
Oh.
long in the three-point attempt. Munford had to shake off Bassi. Winding down the first half. Williams missed the turnaround. Victor wanted to walk.
He's been short on that shot on several occasions here in the first half.
Tor, tough angle coming toward his left. 10-second differential shot and game clock. Heard that by 5.
Nice double.
Somebody's open. Browning, and it's Munford. Couldn't can the 3. Williams still fighting for that rebound. Cook Jr. knocked it up in the air, and they're going to get the foul on him.
Yeah, he was going for the ball to try to keep it alive, but he got a lot of head of Jordan Sekhan.
A lot of the dome.
Right.
Ryan Taylor back in for her that. Ja'Cory Williams will sit down. Combined 67 points here in what's all of about 17 and a half minutes of basketball.
Yep, a lot of three-point shot attempts, some splash downs from 3 by both teams. Yeah, it is wide open.
Shot clock off. Sikh Warriors can hold for the last shot if they so choose. That got deflected. Stay here. 9.3 to go.
It's a world of time to get a high percentage shot if you're the Sikh Warriors. Tough place to inbound, though.
Bassi, nice cut. Somehow was able to get that out there. Bajwa, 3 seconds left. Tor to beat the buzzer with the lefty floater. It almost got it to go. But after trailing by a bucket at the end of the first quarter, heard that. Able to assert its will a little bit. We'll go into the break up by 5. The Marshall Alumni 36-31 on top of Sikh Warriors. Tim Scarborough and I will be back after an extended break. Once again, heard that by 5 as you're watching the West Virginia Regional here at TBT 2025. And just like that, ready for the start of the third quarter here at Charleston, West Virginia. Game number 2 of the triple-header. Already sent one team to round 2. One of these two will move on to get the winner of the 3-seed West Virginia, and DuBois Dream still to come. Entertaining first half of basketball. Heard that, led by 9 from J.P. Tokoto and 9 from Ja'Cory Williams as well. And 14 for A.J. Bassi to pace Sikh Warriors.
Yeah, and, you know, Bassi in particular played 16 minutes, scored 14 points. That is quite a clip. But they'll have to slow him down. But you knew offensively, Ja'Cory Williams, 22 in green, and J.P. Tokoto will have to be the guys who carry the load. And they were both up to the task in the first half.
Here's Williams. And waited and used his size on Tor.
And he's begging for a foul at this point because he got rode all the way down the court, was able to stave him off and score. But, man, they are letting them play.
11 for Ja'Cory Williams, who played pro in Dubai this past year. And there's Bassi.
That's the danger of playing a 1-3-1 against a team that understands how to play basketball. Quick ball movement, diagonal passes, and a wide-open 3, which they cashed in. Xavier Mumford with the bucket.
Back to a 6-point game. Early stages here of the third quarter. Another one, Bassi. Nearly got the friendly bounce. Munford down with the rebound for her. The Marshall alumni. Uses that big body of Derek Cook Jr. Tokoto.
Charge, nothing.
Now nothing. Tor and Bassi on the break. And I thought Munford touched that last. But heard that basketball.
The first game, there weren't a lot of free throws taken in the first half. Same with this one. Sikh Warriors took 1 free throw, and heard that took 2 in the first half.
Munford from Tokoto, one more serve. Williams got hit on the arm. Trying to hammer that down with 2 hands. A.J. Paul Cologne guilty of the foul.
I take that back. Heard that was 6 of 8 from the free throws, and Sikh Warriors only took 1.
Ja'Cory Williams at the line, which I'm sure even he would tell you over the years has been an adventure at times.
He could start his own reality show at times.
With how many different times he's changed his free throw stroke.
Yeah. Killing bugs over there, Matt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I heard you clap. There's a few.
It's better than it was earlier today.
They're staying in that 1-3-1. And Ja'Cory should be familiar with it. That's what they ran at Middle Tennessee, that Kermit Davis 1-3-1.
Right over the top of it, A.J. Paul Singh.
That's the second 3 they've given up in that defense. You wonder how long Coach Ott Elmore will stay in it. It's a bump there.
A.J. Paul Singh on the foul. Tokoto to the free throw line. J.P. Tokoto played at UNC. Half-brother is still playing there. Seth Trimble.
Yep. He was all ACC defensive 2013 and 2015.
And just all kinds of athletic ability personified at both ends of the floor in JP Tokoto.
Yeah, agreed. He looks like he would be a good football player to me.
Mm-hmm. And there's Bajwa.
A rainbow of fruit flavors.
Back to within 4 of the Sikh Warriors.
Nice dime.
Cook Jr. with a 2-hand punch, give Williams an assist.
Cook Jr. was a former dunk contest participant in TBT.
Munford kept that alive. Williams nearly double dribbled.
Whoa!
Had quite a sidestep, but no finish.
That was a dance and a half right there.
Look at that
Oh,
fine
he rim checked
Tokoto.
himself.
And late whistle, Williams will go to the free throw line.
Late, I'll say. It took 2 dribbles down court before that whistle blew.
That one charged to Jordan Sakone. Team high 13 for Ja'Cory Williams to go with 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
Whoa. That free throw shot was different than the last 2 he took.
And 1 free throw hitch also in the stat column.
Wow. Try punting it up there. See what happens.
And
Wow.
got that one. Bajwa, that
Yes.
one looked good, and it's because it is.
Woo-hoo.
Another 3 for Jaswan Bajwa.
But they're going right at him at the defensive end. He's done a decent job, though, in my opinion.
Excuse me, Just Kern Bajwa.
Oh!
And Taylor ends up
Getting his money.
breaking one up on the chops of Victor.
Wow. Head above the contact above the neck, even incidental in the NCAA, would be 2 shots
2
in the
shots
ball.
in the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen that. Of course, you and I cover a lot of college basketball. We see that all the time. And it would take 10 minutes to review it, too.
Right. Tor got all the way to the basket. What a finish. Just his 2nd field goal, but one to remember for the Sikh Warrior captain.
Yeah, that was a sweet left-hand finish right there by the lefty.
They're within 2.
Big size advantage here.
And McGlynn using it. What's his 3rd field goal? 6 for Nick McGlynn.
Proverbial mouse in the house right there. Taking advantage.
Good help D for McGlynn. Somebody's open.
Oh, nice putback.
And there's Tor doing
little
a little
guy.
bit of everything.
Yeah, 6'1", able to get in there and finish.
Williams hops to the lane and finishes over the front of the rim. Back and forth we go here at Charleston.
Give me that.
And McGlynn says no. Take a different tour.
A detour.
Out of bounds.
I don't know why you set me up for those. Oh, here we go.
Cook Jr. with a theft.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
And lucky to get that layup.
He almost came up empty on that. And in my mind, he did. He shouldn't get the 2 points because Derek Cook has got to bang that one.
C missed the turnaround. No numbers for Cook Jr. and
But yet,
should have pulled it out.
yes, poor decision there.
And more than halfway past here in the third quarter. Heard that with a 2-possession lead. But feels like we're getting to the later rounds of a prize fight. Sikh Warriors waiting to strike. You're watching the West Virginia Regional here at the 2025 basketball tournament. Back in Charleston, no John Elmore, no DeAndre Kane, no Tavion Kinsey for Heard That. The Marshall alumni leaning heavily on Ja'Cory Williams and JP Tokoto. And also getting 8 off the bench from Nick McGlynn, have a 6-point lead here.
Yeah, all garbage points for McGlynn. He's done that dirty work, and now they get a turnover in the backcourt here.
Rondell Watson gathers himself and a rare bucket.
Role player for many years. He does that very well, though. Oh, that was almost a tackle by Ryan Taylor. His players are down there laughing at that.
You know, just gathering their material for November.
Yeah, the coach, who's this? You know they're going to be imitating him in practice.
Like, you know how you rewind the tape of us?
Yeah. Boy, did I hate video when I was a player.
Oh, when you mess up.
Oh, my gosh.
Bajwa missed the 3. And McGlynn got it poked out of bounds, last touch by Tor.
My coach would ask, what were you thinking here? And I would want to say, I was thinking, man, I don't want to see this on video.
The correct answer there is usually that there is no answer.
Right. Yeah, that's rhetorical.
Some people still do try, though.
Yeah.
McGlynn fouled here.
The freshmen and sophomores do anyway, right?
Right. Nice night for the former Drake Bulldog, Nick McGlynn.
Yeah, solid contribution at both ends, really. Been a real presence.
And that last touched out of bounds by Sikh Warriors. Heard that, threatening to go up double digits here. Cook Jr. on the design inbounds, too much.
Wrong angle on that glass shot.
Separating out of the double team. Guy here was unable to knock down the three. Let's see this time mid-range.
He's got 17, but he had most of that in the first half.
Tokoto wanting one-on-one. That's tough on the baseline. There's McGlynn hitting the offensive glass again.
There we go.
Cook Jr., second chance for her at that.
Yep, that's invaluable.
Cook Jr. all kinds of out of control, but got his own miss. Munford, they'll try and probe again with Tokoto. And hit on the arm, whistle and a foul on Jaden Narval.
And there is where you miss a standstill shooter in the corner. Because if Tokoto was that, he would have gotten a wide open three from downtown in the corner. But because he wants to slash and drive, that pass was a 6-foot pass instead of a 20-foot pass that would have got him wide open. But nonetheless, his strength and size gets him to the line once again, where they have made a living here.
Now for Tokoto.
This is their 18th free throw coming up. Still just one at the other end.
Does Satnam Singh have any eligibility down there on the end of that bench?
Yeah, he would draw some fouls, and he certainly would spend some fouls. Let's just say Nick McGlynn wouldn't be getting those putbacks if younger Satnam Singh was out there.
By the way, though, we asked him when's the last time you picked up a basketball, and he said it's probably been 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, he said before the pandemic, which is
although
a lifetime ago. It seems like
they had a video on their Instagram account today as Browning gets this deflection of him shooting a three from what looked like about 25 or 30 feet and canning it.
Oh yeah, I was watching that.
Just like Bajwa does there.
Yeah, big shot by Bajwa. And those two guys, Basai and Bajwa, have really carried the load scoring-wise, keeping it close.
Tokoto right back to work, though, shoulders into another bucket. 14 now for JP Tokoto. Saran, and that's over the backboard and out of bounds. But heard that by double digits now.
It's comfortable, but don't relax if you heard that because of the three-point shot. And we're seeing some tired shots from the boys in black.
Look at Browning with a little position on the block.
How about that low post footwork by the guard, Browning? Oh, that's sweet.
And Tor comes right back, bucket and the line. Says I could post too.
Add that to the sizzle reel for Victor. Spin cycle activity there.
There's a lot of things you can do with that name. Like this is Vic's tour.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of things you could do. I wouldn't advise it, though. No, I'm kidding.
Successful three-point play for the Southpaw Tour.
Makes me think of a Tribe Called Quest. Award Tour.
Award Tour. Final minute here of the third quarter. McGlynn, good footwork, and got it blocked.
Block.
Tokoto, yep, late to the spot is Tor.
And now we know Tor is unabashed and unafraid, because stepping in front of JP Tokoto with a head of steam, I think I'll take a pass on that one.
Don't know if I would equate it to getting hit with an anvil, but I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
But anvil is gravity related.
Right.
Well, his was more in the horizontal direction, so it's more like a Volkswagen.
You're thinking of like Acme Anvil, like falling
Yeah.
out of the sky,
Right.
Bugs Bunny stuff.
Right. Well, Wile E. Coyote action. And that's not what you're talking about?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay.
Best part of these broadcasts, you never know what turn they're going to take.
I mean, Looney Tunes. Who knew that would show up?
Didn't
in
have
the
Wile E.
broadcast?
Coyote on my bingo card tonight.
Right.
11-point game. Tokoto and Ja'Cory Williams now a team high 16 apiece for Heard That.
Yeah, that's got to be a foul. There's a deliberate attempt to wear out these guards in the backcourt because although they have size on the Sikh Warriors, their guards are the guys that do the damage.
Taylor got a deflection. Good communication for Heard That. A lot of talking on that defensive possession.
Agreed.
Browning and Taylor, yeah, both unable to convert.
A rare transition opportunity.
Or
Oh, man.
blazing to the basket, right past Tokoto.
My goodness, is he fast. Road runner fast.
Meep, meep. And 11 for Victor. Final 10 seconds of this third quarter.
Numbers again.
Bajwa in the corner, rainbow, and that's how the third quarter will end. Well, it was Heard That by 5 at the half. And they push that now to what's a 9-point lead going into the fourth quarter. We'll come back for the final 4.5. Excuse me, for the final 5, and then the Elam ending. Once again, Heard That 64-55 lead on the Sikh Warriors here at the West Virginia Regional. Start of the fourth quarter, Heard That. And Sikh Warriors here at the basketball tournament, West Virginia region. Xavier Munford using Ja'Cory Williams to get his own shot. Out of bounds, and they'll say Bassi touched it last. Well, if you're Sikh Warriors, you're down 9. You're not obviously out of this. But what do you need to do to make sure you're in a better spot come Elam ending time?
Yeah, this is your window, right? 5 minutes. before they turn that clock off and put a target score up. You want to be as close as possible to the target.
That doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all.
Munford from the outside.
Giving up a dagger 3 to start this fourth quarter. Trailing by 12 now. But you want to be within double digits for sure if you have any chance.
You mean inside of double digits?
Inside, correct.
Singh with an answer.
It's a big shot.
10 now for A.J. Paul Singh, his second 3 of the evening. Cook Jr., that's a tough catch.
Yeah.
Williams rescued it. Munford looking for a second 3.
Hotly contested, 2 guys running at him.
Cologne came down with the rebound. Bassi missed that short. Tor, smallest guy on the floor, or one of them anyway, and gets fouled.
Really impressive showing by the guards on this Sikh Warriors team, though. They've handled the ball under duress. A lot of backcourt pressure. They've been able to withstand a lot of it. They've turned it over a few, but really good group of guys.
Singh with a little 15-footer on the baseline. A.J. Paul Singh, the last 5 Sikh Warriors points.
Coming to life at the right time.
Williams long on the jump hook. Singh with the rebound. Here comes Tor. And Browning with a good closeout. Singh hard but soft on the left.
How about this?
Degree of difficulty hard, but soft touch for the big guy.
And you see the bench is up and clapping. They think they're in, and they are. 5-point lead, still plenty of time.
It's a 7-0 A.J. Paul Singh run. And
he smoked it.
Cook Jr. again. That's the second time he's done that tonight.
How about that?
A.J. Paul Singh looking for another one. That would have been 10 straight points.
That would have been crazy.
And Williams finally quells that run.
Well, if you're Coach Sukhveer Singh, you have to be thinking, hey, we just need to take care of the basketball. They've got 15 turnovers to just 6 for Hurdat.
A.J. Paul Singh, nice drop-off, but better hands. Cook Jr. able to get in there for the strip.
Turnover number 16.
Munford to the basket. Late recovery by Tor. Offensive rebound, Ja'Cory Williams. He has the last 4 Hurdat points. Marshall Alumni up by 9.
Ja'Cory Williams is the type of player that understands the moment, and he is not going to just let his team squander a lead. Ja'Cory to the rescue the last couple of possessions here. Some breathing room, but they're not out of the woods yet. 21 second chance opportunities, 7 second chance points to just 7 second chance points for the Sikh Warriors.
Reminder still to come, West Virginia, the West Virginia Alumni and Du Bois Dream. In what will be our third game, third and final of day 1 here from Charleston.
Yeah, another good one. That's probably, I'd say, most of the fans here are waiting for that one. A lot of blue and yellow in the audience.
But still have about almost 2 minutes and a dead ball to Elam ending time in this one.
And it's interesting. I heard that would shoot a lot of three-pointers. They've only taken 10 three-pointers. They understood. Great job by Elmore and Gay Elmore, the coaches, to understand that they have a decided advantage in the interior, and they have not settled for threes.
Tor with the shot clock inside 5. Well, Rondale Watson got some ball, but also some body.
Yeah, a lot of body. He did get the ball, though. But Nick McGlynn has feasted. Excuse me. J.P. Togoto has feasted. Of course, Cook Jr. and Ja'Cory Williams have all had their share of success in the paint tonight.
This will only be free throw attempts 3 and 4 as Tor makes that one.
To the 20 that Herdad has taken.
Yeah, I mean, offensive glass has been a big story. 17 offensive rebounds for them. It's part of the reason they've been getting there a bunch. Tor goes 1 of 2, 8-point game.
So now some pressure coming from the Warriors. That was on the floor.
So A.J. Paul Singh picks up his third, excuse me.
Minute and 13 from potential Elam ending scenario.
Ja'Cory Williams gets bumped, this time by Bajwa.
Bajwa with 16 points. Basai with 17. And A.J. Paul Singh comes up with 14, but he just got 7 in the last couple of minutes. They take a moment to wipe that ball off. Moisture.
Even if this doesn't necessarily happen for this Sikh Warrior team, you know, they're doing their community proud, especially the youth that are watching at home.
They have represented their country, themselves, their organization very well here tonight. And we saw them at shoot-around today, and we knew that they had skills.
Williams got the last bucket, looking for another one for her. That Taylor and McGlynn nearly got that one to go down.
Almost the play of the night right there, right? And Ja'Cory Williams leading a fast break, uncharacteristic. No-look pass, too.
I think he wanted Ryan Taylor to go up with that one.
He definitely did. And Ryan.
McGlynn at the free throw line.
Ryan went extra, and then McGlynn put a little English on it, almost got a great shot to go.
Well, perhaps Ja'Cory Williams smiling because he knows if they get out of this, there are potential reinforcements coming Sunday.
Yeah, potentially. They're on the horizon.
But might potentially be another game before they get John Elmore back and Kinsey as Bajwa knocks down another 3.
Well, like any tournament, though, it gets tougher as you move through. So the earlier the reinforcements come, the better, because they may get here too late.
Williams right over top of the double, got a friendly bounce.
Double doesn't matter.
22 now for Ja'Cory Williams. A.J. Paul Singh left that one short. Rondale Watson down with the rebound. And now do you call the timeout?
Yeah,
yes, they would.
Yep.
Well, you would think this their 16th TBT game.
Yeah, they know.
They know what they're doing.
They know when to call that timeout.
84 going up on the board. Target score +8 versus what will be +18 for the Sikh Warriors. We'll have it for you when we return. Heard that by 10 here in West Virginia. Elam ending time here at the Charleston Coliseum. First one to 84 ends up winning. 2 seed heard that in a good spot. Sikh Warriors, meanwhile, going to need 18 points. Matt Martucci, Tim Scarborough, glad you could spend another year with us. This is our 9th on these broadcasts. Very proud of that. As heard that, tried to lob that to Cook Jr.
Giveaway.
And Tokoto, yep, commits the foul.
Not in the bonus yet, so they'll inbound on the side.
By the way, I think they figured out how to turn the clock off here. The first game they had it under 60 minutes for the Elam ending.
Yeah.
Now it just looks like drunk 84s.
84-84. Which is nothing on a clock, right? There's no 8s.
No. That last ball knocked out of bounds. Xavier Munford, J.P. Tokoto, Ja'Cory Williams, Derek Cook Jr., and Stevie Browning for heard that.
Point guard, J.P. Tokoto.
That's right. Sekon, Bajwa, Singh, Basi, and Tor for the Sikh Warriors. Foul called here. Jaskern Bajwa picks up a 3rd personal.
Ja'Cory going for points 25 and 26 here from the free throw line.
And more importantly, 7 away now for heard that. Double-double for him, 25 and 10 rebounds. So 6 away for heard that.
Well, we knew this would not be easy. The Sikh Warriors have been up to the challenge. But it looks like they could finally meet their match and heard that, but it was not an easy win if they hang on to win this thing.
Foul called on Singh. So this just going to result in 1 free throw and then the basketball.
Yeah, that's why fouling, once you get in the bonus in the Elam ending, could be a never-ending battle because you never get the ball.
And if you're wondering at home, why does he only get 1 free throw, non-shooting foul? He got 2 the last time because he was in the act.
It's almost better to get the non-shooting foul and then get the possession. I'll take possession all day because you can't score when I have the ball. You like that philosophy, right?
Sounds simple enough.
You can't score if I.
Cook Jr., look at that.
There's the dunk we were waiting for, right? Remember the breakaway he had? And I said the points shouldn't count because Derek Cook Jr. shouldn't be laying the ball in with the bunnies that he has.
Well, that's a good way to assure that it doesn't happen again. Heard that 3 away. And Sikh Warriors in danger of potentially not scoring in this Elam scenario.
Wow. 8-0 run the wrong way.
And some of the members of the Sikh Warrior coaching staff, I think, wondering why maybe a technical wasn't assessed on Derek Cook Jr. after some gymnastics on the rim.
It crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, we're doing pull-ups and chin-ups now.
Little uneven bars.
Tough shot.
Basi way off target. That gets batted out by Tor. Singh with another one. Can't convert that. Here's Browning. Browning was thinking about that three. Instead, Williams, one-hand hammer. Heard that one away.
Clear for takeoff, Ja'Cory Williams.
Singh, and still scoreless in the Elam scenario, and they overshot Ja'Cory Williams.
Yeah, this has turned into a YMCA game a little bit, right?
Bajwa from way out. And there's Basi. So they're 15 away. Browning for a trip to the second round. Instead, Cook Jr. rescues it.
Only need 1 point.
Munford.
Why are they shooting threes?
And leak out for Tor. They're 13 away. And Tokoto, little bully ball to the basket, and we'll go to the free throw line.
With a chance to win it. Every TBT game ends on a made shot. Some are more dramatic than others. This one could end with a free throw. With a 12-point lead. He gets two of them. 2 chances for one.
2 shots to go to the second round. And they'll go there. First step toward $1 million in 2025 for Herd that. 84-71 over Sikh Warriors on the Elam Ender free throw from JP Tokoto. No John Elmore, no DeAndre Kane, no Tavion Kinsey. Heard that certainly getting all they could handle from Sikh Warriors.
They did. It was an impressive showing. Again, guys playing not just for themselves, but for a whole entire country of people and a religion, the Sikh religion. And they had a solid showing here in TBT in West Virginia.
Heard that will make the walk over to the bracket. So we've sent 2 into the second round. The Ohio Alumni. Court Street Kings winning our first one. Heard that moves on here. West Virginia and Du Bois Dreams still to come.
These guys have done this celebration a few times. And they hope to do it 5 more and cash a check at the end. But only one team gets to do that per year. But boy, is TBT fun, huh, Matt?
Yeah, it certainly is. They were close back in 2023. Heard that.
They were. They got to Philadelphia.
Still have all the tools to potentially do it again.
Yeah, you got a couple of NBA-level guys in Tavion Kinsey, John Elmore, 2 Marshall legends. If they could get here, and it's funny because I guess they got to root for a loss for Sacramento. A loss for Sacramento means a win for Heard that.
And it looks like placard is already up there. So that's our cue to say goodbye for about 20 minutes. 84-71. Heard that. Moving on over Sikh Warriors. For Tim Scarborough and our entire crew, Matt Martucci saying so long, temporarily, from the Charleston Coliseum. We'll be back for our 3rd game of the day. Du Bois Dream in West Virginia, the West Virginia Alumni. You've been watching the basketball tournament here at the West Virginia Regional. Come back with us.